Hey everybody, welcome back to SourceFed. I'm Steven Suptic, the man with 1,000 prostates, and we have a special guest over from SourceFed Nerd today to help give insight about the Women's March. I tried to write it alone, but everyone in the office got mad at me because I thought girls peed out of their butts. It was also brought into question why that even came up. Anyway, here's special guest Whitney Moore!
I have a vagina!
Thank you for joining us, Whitney. This isn't your first time on the channel, right?
Nope.
It'll be your last. Now, as someone who didn't go to the Women's March on Saturday, I got all my info about it from social media and news sites, so I thought it would be invaluable to get a first-hand look at what the protests were really like.
Well, it was my first ever march, and it was a pretty incredible one to be a part of. It was almost an unfathomably large crowd of people standing in solidarity with each other. The final turnout was counted at 750,000 people, which is about a fifth of LA's population, and not one single arrest.
Hot dog!
Hot dog is right, Sam. I mean, Steve. But we were less focused on wieners and more on buns.
Who do you like more? Sam or me?
I don't like either of you.
So a lot of people looking at the event from the outside aren't exactly sure what people were marching for on Saturday.
Well, now that I'm your man on the streets, actually woman on the streets, feminism, hey, I can tell you all about it. Or you can just read the mission statement from womensmarch.com.
In the spirit of democracy and honoring the champions of human rights, dignity, and justice who have come before us, we join in diversity to show our presence in numbers too great to ignore. This march is the first step towards unifying our communities, grounded in new relationships to create change from the grassroots level up. We will not rest until women have parity and equity at all levels of leadership in society. Whit, I don't know if you know this, but our viewers love learning about feminism. They just can't get enough of it. Feminist fact, 50 to 65% of our bodies are made of it.
That's water.
Feminist fact, in the 2016 superhero hit Deadpool, a little Easter egg is the signs on the highways are the comic book writer and artist's names.
Do you know what a feminist is, Steve?
A feminist is a large-tailed game bird native to Asia.
Oh, it's a pheasant.
No, Whitney, that's a member of the lower class.
Well, here are some real facts about the Women's March. Over 5 million people marched worldwide, and there were over 1 million people in Washington, D.C. alone.
And the Women's March movement isn't stopping there. On their website, they said, every 10 days we will take action on an issue we all care about, starting today.
So yeah, I know that a lot of people on my feed are asking what the point of a protest like this is, and the short answer is to show solidarity and support with people who have generally been made to feel unsafe in society. Historically, that's been women, the LGBTQ community, people of color, and the sick and disabled. Two of the main causes we were marching for, and it's worth mentioning that this is something people feel afraid our current administration might take away, is the Affordable Care Act and Roe versus Wade. The ACA made it illegal for insurance companies to discriminate against people with pre-existing conditions like myself, and Roe versus Wade essentially helped to give women a right to govern their own bodies and choose to have an abortion if needed.
Right, and whether or not you agree with those things, we hope you can at least get behind people expressing their causes with that good old First Amendment.
Hell yeah.
But that wasn't the only criticism, right? Another criticism of the Women's March was that it wasn't as inclusive as it claimed to be, and the reason why it was considered peaceful is that cops generally don't tear gas white women, who made up a huge percentage of the marches.
And that's true. One of my favorite signs I saw read, "I'll see all you nice white ladies at the next BLM march," right? You might have heard the term white feminism before, and that's pertinent in here because equality isn't really equality if one group is still benefiting more than the others. So long story short, if you're gonna choose to have solidarity with every disadvantaged group, even if you're not part of it, mean what you say and join the fight for everyone. Right now, womensmarch.com has a section for people to fill out postcards with their grievances to send to their senators.
Dear Senator, I'm tired of being called ma'am on the phone. It's getting old. Anything you can do about this would be much appreciated. I know I sound like a boy.
Great bit, Steve. Also on this side it says, stay tuned for the next collective action. I don't know about you, Steven, but I will be there when it's time to protest.
I don't know where I'll be, Whitney. I could be dead by then. I'm Steven Suptic.
And I'm Whitney Moore, and you're watching SourceFed.
You're far too happy.
Bye-bye.
As a human being.
I thought you were gonna say, you're farting, and I can tell.
You're farting, and I've smelled it, and it's honestly just like Korean barbecue.
I'm not sorry.
More like Gwyneth Paltrow sold out. Am I right?
No. Stop that. Change.
Let's try dolphin. Counter stretch for camel.
I'm alarmed with the speed with which